Do you ever forget forms? Do you ever have a little trouble remembering movements? If that's true, you're not the only one. I've been teaching for a while, and one of the issues with our system is we've got 64 straight line forms, 8 sets of 8, and people forget them. So this is a little technique, tip, set of principles you can use so that you remember your forms, so you can practice them, and because you practice them, you don't forget them because you remember them, if that makes sense. All right, we're working with pretty standard mnemonic ideas, mnemonic techniques. So we're going to be using our imagination to create imagery. We can add sounds to the imagery, we can use words as part of the imagery, and we can link the images together. And that way, if you have several movements to remember, they're easier to remember. I'll make this concrete by going through some examples. So, of our 64 forms, the first of them is called Kai, and Kai means to open. It has a signature movement which goes something like this. And for me, this is a little bit like a flower. It's a little bit like a flower opening. So for my imagination, I can go, there's a flower opening at the end of my hand. And then I can be presenting the flower. Then the second, the signature movement of it is something like this, and it's called pong. Pong, English slang. Old English, I don't know, it means to smell. So having opened the flower, given it to someone, they can then smell it. Does it pong or not? Hopefully it smells nice. Pong usually means smelling not so good for the non-English people. So we have Kai, we have pong. The next movement is called dun. Dun goes like this. This is the signature part of the movement. It's pulling downwards. Dun for me sounds like a Scottish person saying down. So for my image, I can imagine a Scottish person bending over, and to make it even more memorable, you get to see what's under their kilt. And that way, it's harder to forget. So, Kai, Pong, Dun. Next one is called Tan. This is an image which an old student created. Signature movement of Tan really is this little pointy thing with the fingers. So the idea of Tan is to test, and this is going, it's not saying poke someone in the eye with 2 fingers, it's saying get someone's attention up here so you can come low. But my friend Adrien says, it's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex with its little arms. So then you get Tyrannosaurus Rex, you can give it a noise because everyone knows Tyrannosaurus Rex go, and you can imagine it's under the sun and going a little bit brown, tan. So, tan and T-Rex. And then the final one we'll go for today, also from Adrien, he called this one hélicoptère because he's French. And the signature movement is like this, so it's just spinning around, coming down, spinning around, coming down, and the name is Lee. So you can imagine Bruce Lee in a helicopter flying away from the T-Rex, tan, and so on. Right? So that's my set of ideas you can use so you don't forget your forms. Have fun, use your imagination, find a link between some part of the movement and some image you can give it, add some extra things in, make it rude if you can, you'll find it easier to remember. This month over on Practices Beyond Style, we'll be going into how we can use memory and mnemonics in martial arts in deeper ways than this. If you want to find out more, click on the links below.